What's up, guys? My name is Nick from ROK Music Review, and I guess I want to welcome you to the first episode of a series of videos I'm going to be calling Upon Further Review. Kind of like, because I got in mind here, right, when like in football or sports like that, when they go and they do a little replay of a call to like possibly overturn it, stuff like that, and they come back and they say upon further review, they're ruling on the field, that kind of stuff. That's what I got in my mind right there for the reason for that thing. I'm still working on how to like open these, get a proper introduction and all that stuff. But the reason for this is because I really kind of want to separate and really target my videos at a kind of certain audience, right? So my reaction videos is the stuff that just appeals to the general masses. These videos are my actual semi in-depth reviews, like I was trying to do for the last year, which wasn't particularly working so well. But these are going to be the review videos that I'm sure that some of you is going, and just generally I think has a smaller fan base and level of interest than the reaction videos. So specific song reviews are of course going to be in a different video, and as the title of this one says, we're taking a look at the song from Hyolyn, her solo song titled Paradise. And I mean, I was really kind of torn on whether or not I should hold off on doing the first one until it's an actual recent release, or one that I had a delayed reaction to. But I just I kind of just really had the urge and itch to make a video for this one, a little review for this one. So of course, as with everything, every song, for the most part, there are good points and there are bad points that I want to point out. So let's start with the good ones. We're gonna let you in easily, and then we're gonna drop the hammer at the end and crush all your hopes and dreams. So first off, as I said in the reaction video too, I just love the flow of the verses and the choruses as well. I didn't specifically mention the choruses in the song, but the chorus, the verses and the choruses are super, super awesome. I mean, they're not super, super upbeat, right? The chorus definitely isn't super upbeat. The verses are more so, but it's moderately upbeat. It's got a moderately fast tempo. It's not breakneck pace. It's not taking you. It's not whitewater rapid speed. You're just caught in the current and you can't stop, that kind of fast. It's definitely cool. If I wanted to get out of it, I could, right? It's definitely quick and engaging, but at the same time mellow and easy to disengage from, right? Which I think is it's very, very nice. It does that balance between engaging and just relaxing and cool very, very nicely. I think it does a very good job with that. The feeling of the speed and the progress in the song is really mostly in the verses, right, with the flow of the vocals in there, which is definitely my favorite part of the entire song. The way that the lines in for the vocals and the verses are constructed, and the way that all of that is presented is spectacularly awesome. It's so much fun to listen to. If I could just I think that if I could just listen to the vocal, I guess it would be the a cappella version of the song, and just I could listen to the verses with no instrumental backing frequently. I wouldn't say all day, because that's kind of that would be a super exaggeration, but that's that's that. And all of that, right? The moderate upbeat tempo, and just the general flow and the sense of progression, and all of that through most of the song makes the song super, super easy to get to, right? Which is really, really great. Another thing too, just is not really important, but something that I kind of want to just kind of point out and give you my general perception on this, right, is that the music, the backing music for this, right, of course, which is supporting her vocals and all that stuff, and just fleshes out the entire song, is really kind of basic sounding, right? I mean, you don't need to have any crazy elaborate music and stuff like that. It's just has to provide the structure and the framework within the rules of music composition to get you from the start to the finish, and allow you to put vocals in if you want, right? So it doesn't have to be anything super, super crazy, but the music is super is relatively basic, and I feel, right, of course, all of the instrumentation and all of the sounds that you're hearing are electronically generated and all that stuff, because it's the the wonders of technology these days, where if you wanted to get all these sounds back in the day, you had to actually use real, like, actual legitimate instruments. So if you wanted a little drum, you got to have a drum. Now all you got to do is just press keys on a keyboard, on like an actual like musical keyboard, black and white keys, like a piano and that kind of stuff. Or use a mixer, do whatever you want to do, and you'll get the sounds. But this one is, the sounds that are in this song are like, it feels super, super percussion heavy. Like, it's super, super percussive, I guess would be the word, which is cool. It's definitely, I guess gives the song a, outside of the little bit before the verse, because that definitely just sounds heavy, but it gives it a, while maybe the vocals of it make it sound a little light in a sense, the music makes it, brings that kind of down, weighs it down, gives it a little bit of, heft and punch behind it, right? Which is definitely, cool and, awesome. So, I mean, overall, the music is like basic and enjoyable, and just the flow and the pacing of it is awesome and very, very easy for me to get into. And at the same time, if I wanted to like divert my attention and stuff like that, I'm not just like so, captivated and hooked into it once it gets my attention that I can't, break away, right? Which is kind of a silly thing to say, which you probably think is something silly to kind of say, but I do think that it is actually, a valid point to make. Of course, her vocal ability is, on point. Everybody kind of knows that over the last few years. Well, since I've known K-pop, she's always been someone who's been super, super strong with the vocals. Definitely awesome. I don't think the songs particularly pushed her vocal abilities. It doesn't need to be, right? That's not a criticism. That's not a complaint. That's not a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just is a thing. It's just something that I noticed. But of course, I don't know a damn thing about actually singing. I haven't gotten any sort of education or even any sort of training on, singing. So I have no idea, but it's just my kind of feeling. And, I don't know. I mean, and of course the vocals and her singing ability and all that stuff just kind of just adds a little extra element of, cool and enjoyableness to the entire song. Now, with all of that being said, I know I spent a pretty large portion of the song talking about the upsides, because there are a lot of upsides to this song. The one downside to this song, which I did talk about in my reaction video, is something that I was unsure of. But as I've, listened to this for literally half an hour as I wrote out my script or my, bullet points here that I'm reading off, not to mention listening to it beforehand a little bit to get, a better, idea, and to just, get the sound drilled into my head to like hear it. The little drop before I guess I'm going to call it the pre-chorus. I guess it could be considered as part of the chorus. I don't specifically know, but there was a transition. You kind of build up and you drop down to the thing. I feel like it's a bit too much, right? Like you've got pretty good tempo and pretty good pacing through the verse and then to the build up, right? And then you drop down, and that pacing and that good feel and all that stuff and the good progression that you're feeling is kind of just ruined, because like it just takes all of that progress and that feeling and that momentum that the song's generated through the first verse, and then it's kind of just takes it down and it kills it. And, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I say a lot of times in a lot of my other videos, like I definitely do enjoy, a little change of pace in the songs, a little differentiation, giving us a different sound, a different feeling, but I mean, you definitely could give us a different feel, a different, idea, a different sound without, dropping so down, or dropping the feel of the song so low that, the pace that the song was moving at is kind of dead. Right, so I mean, like if you were going to like compare it with, I guess, to like the heartbeat of a song, because that's just kind of what the pace and the tempo is, right? That through the verse and to a certain extent, and to a lesser extent the chorus, right? The heartbeat is like super, super quick, right? It's really, really, really quick, and then when you get to that little pre-chorus or the beginning or the first little bit of that chorus, like it drops down so that it's not so quick anymore, right? And it's cool, but the way that it is presented and the way that it feels just kind of like throws it up and interrupts the flow of the song, which I don't really like, because I think the rest of it flows, and then to just interrupt the flow to a dramatic degree, in my opinion, just kind of like ruins the entire effect of the song. Now, that's not really a, huge drawback for me, which is why I only talked about it for, 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, as opposed to 5 minutes of, the good stuff. So it really isn't like a huge, downside. It's just one thing, a little tiny element of the song. Of course, I think it only makes up maybe 30 seconds total of the song that could be improved to make the song personally, better. That's my personal feeling. So, upon further review, Paradise by Hyolyn falls just short of the mark of being a really, really good song that I don't have like anything to complain about, right? It's a really great song. It flows just amazingly, and of course, that means it's a pretty good jam, right? It's a pretty good jam. The only downside, as I said, is that little drop or that break in like the chorus kind of sequence ruins the kind of flow that you got. That is the one thing that I think is the best part of this song, and it kind of takes away from the overall experience a little bit. So that's my additional kind of review. Hopefully you enjoy these videos, and this is kind of a nice way to separate my reaction from my review, so I'm not trying to mash all of that into the same thing. Hopefully it's something that you enjoy. I don't know, let me know some ideas for ways that I can make these review videos a little bit better. Give me your thoughts and opinions on like detailed kind of stuff. Your review of this song down in the comments below. Leave a rating, share this video, do whatever you got to do. When you're finished with all of that interaction with the video, click on these over here if you're interested in watching any of those videos right over on this side of the screen. And if you haven't already and you want to stay updated with all of my future uploads, then click on my avatar right there to get subscribed. So like I said, you don't miss any of the awesome content that I upload consistently. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.